Say the things you want to say, but don't forget the role I used to play. When you feel defeated, like your heart's been cheated, just think about me like before.
Hello, and welcome to the Leen Show, episode 10 of the Leen Show. Double digits, how about that?
Insane. We made it.
You know, for all the haters and the doubters out there, they thought they'll never make it to 10 episodes. Well, this is for you, all right?
Hell yeah.
This is for you.
We did that.
How's your day going, Kathleen? How's your week going?
Dude, I don't know about you, but I've heard from multiple people, like, this has been one of the longest weeks of my life. Like, nothing bad's happening. Like, everything's fine, life's fine, work's fine, but, like, I feel like this week's been going on for literally a month. Like, I'm so thrilled that it's Friday, and I'm going to go get absolutely wasted tonight. That is my plan.
Okay. Speak on that. Why has it been long? Why did multiple people say it's been long?
I don't know. Like, even my sister and I were Snapchatting about it, and she was like, God, this week just sucks. And I was like, yeah, same. But, like, nothing really bad happened. Like, it's not like, well, I guess it was 9/11 on Monday. Maybe it was just a bad start to a 9/11. When 9/11 falls on Monday, maybe that's why. Just elongated the week just so that we, because, you know, never forget, right? So we're really remembering this week. We are really remembering.
Did you probably didn't. Did you see what O.J. Simpson said on some show about?
Oh my God, no.
Hold on. I'm gonna find it really quick. He's on, there's this sports show. I think it's called It Is What It Is. It's like I forget. It's Cameron, who's like a rapper in like the 2000s, and another guy. I can't remember the other guy's name. But it's like an internet show, so they like cuss all the time.
Okay.
And it's really, the clips are really funny. But they had OJ on, and hold on, see if I can find this.
You know OJ lives in Florida, right?
No, he lives in Vegas.
Oh, he relocated. He used to live in Florida.
Yeah, I only know he lives in Vegas because, oh my God, it's really, hold on, sorry.
No, you're good.
All right, I'm sharing my screen. Look at this. All right, you see it?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's talking about like Aaron Rodgers tearing his Achilles on like the fourth play of his New York Jets debut, which I want to talk about just a little bit. But like, so they asked him about it. This is what he said.
Jets are still going to be good. They got that defense, and that kid learned a lot from Aaron. Unfortunately, 9/11 is just a bad date for New York, you know.
You can't say that, dude. Come on, man. OJ,
I mean, he's
man.
not wrong.
Speaking of sports, Kathleen, do you have any news about Travis Kelce you want to share with the class?
Yeah, for sure. I would. And I'm sure people have already heard this, obviously, because it's involving, quote-unquote, mother, a.k.a. Taylor Swift. But yeah, in other sports news, it's apparently rumored that Travis Kelce of the Kansas City Chiefs, a.k.a. my favorite NFL team, apparently, have been, quote, quietly hanging out. And really the only interesting thing I wanted to say was, like, apparently he went to one of her shows. I think he took like his niece or something like that, because I know he doesn't have kids, but he went to one of Taylor Swift's shows and tried to slip her like one of those like bracelets. You know, it's super big in the Taylor Swift community to wear those like, you know, friendship bracelets, and like it's big to exchange them at the shows and like do all the stuff, whatever. Apparently he tried to like slip her one with his number on it. And he, like, told the story on his podcast. He has a podcast with his brother. It's called, I wrote it down here. Yeah, New Heights with Jason and Travis Kelce. So he talked about it on there. They could really use that
press from us. They're going to get the Leen Show. They really need that press. They're going to get the Leen Show rub.
Yeah, shout out New Heights with Jason and Travis Kelce, available on Spotify and Apple Music. Anyway, he talked about it on that podcast, and next thing you know, they're quietly hanging out. So here's my only interesting point to make. Well, I have two interesting points to make. One, I'm curious to see how Chiefs fans are feeling about this because, you know, Taylor Swift's in a new relationship. If it goes south, that means the song's coming out. So could be bad news for Travis Kelce. I mean, he could be in the press, could have a song written about him. Number two, are there people out there that work for Taylor Swift that are just scouring the internet and the entire world for any and all content about her? Like, obviously there's no way that Taylor Swift herself was listening to their podcast. So if that's true, that, you know, they got together because she quote unquote heard about this on his podcast, like, who told her? Like, they're like, I feel like she literally has a PR team or some sort of like team that is just like, hey, like, I am out there just scouring the internet for Taylor Swift content so I can just let her know what people are saying.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say, yes, she has a PR team. I'm going to go on a limb and say she has about 10 Gen Z to early or late, what am I trying to say? She's got a team of 20 to 30 somethings who their entire job is to make sure that every headline about her is positive and it's skewed.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to go on a limb and say yes. I thought you were going to go with, like, does she have people who specifically come in and be like the president getting his like daily briefing, like, all right, here's Travis Kelce, 33 years old, two-time Super Bowl champion, you know, like, here's another like possible dates, you know, like, which they honestly they could, like, you know, Taylor's she's got that pull where she could just, you know, she doesn't have time to, she doesn't have time to find, you know, her next mate. She's got to pay someone to help them find them. And that's kind of the point of being rich, no? Is you're like, okay, what do I have to pay you? Like $1,000 a week, you know, whatever, some base salary, and then you can just do things I don't really want to do. Okay, great. That's the point. That's what, as Don Draper would say, that's what the money's for.
Yeah, I mean, it seems, when you say it out loud, it seems crazy, but I think it's pretty plausible. I mean, you know, she's not running her own social media. You know, she's not checking her Instagram DMs. Like, you know, she's got a team that's doing that. So how else does she hear about, like you said, Travis Kelce, 2-time Super Bowl winning football star that's interested in giving her his number? Like she's basically untouchable. So there's got to be some channels that get information from us bottom feeders up to mother.
I hate when you say that.
Mother?
A chill goes down my spine when I hear that.
I mean, honestly, I'm saying it kind of ironically. I'm not a Swiftie, you know what I mean? I don't hate on Taylor Swift, but I'm absolutely by no means a Swiftie, and that's what everybody else calls her. And I think it's weird, cringy, but whatever, it's funny. Cause
she like
Mama.
She's in her mid-30s, but she looks like a teenager still. Whatever, like, I'm not saying she's had plastic surgery specifically, but whatever, like, crazy Hollywood medicine that she's on is just, like, not aging her at all. She looks, I mean, like, I watched the VMAs like a little bit on Tuesday night, and she literally looks like she did in 2013. It's crazy. Because you'd think, like, the amount of, like, travel and the shows and, like, all that stuff would kind of age her a little bit. Or at least give her like a heroin addiction or something like other musicians, but neither, it seems. It seems like, you know, it seems like, you know, she just like does tequila shots every now and then just kind of lives a pretty normal life, but also she's worth like $800 million, you know? I
mean, at some point, the other shoe is going to drop on her, though. Like, everybody, like, we're all human. Like, we all have flaws. Like, at some point, the other shoe's going to drop, and she's going to make a mistake, and she's going to actually get scrutinized for once. And, like, I've seen, like, this storyline. Well, right. But, like, I've seen this storyline a couple times circulated, and, like, people being, like, Taylor Swift weaponizing her fan base. But, like, that's the thing. Like, her fan base is so big and scary. It's, like, come try and take me down, and my fans will ruin your life and literally cyberbully you, and you can't do anything about it.
It's kind of like, you know, it reminds me of like, you know, like the U.S. military. It's like, well, we have all this stuff, so what are we gonna do? Not use it, you know?
Right.
It's like, from Taylor Swift's perspective, you know, she's got God knows how many tens of millions of very online people who just will defend, very active, like, so, you know, they can get deployed to, you know, someone's comment section, you know.
Very militant.
They get called to action. Very militant.
I mean, the headline was literally, "Is Taylor Swift weaponizing her fan base?" It's pretty military headline.
It is, but is it wrong? Is that a wrong headline? I mean, like, weaponize, is that the incorrect word to use? I don't think so.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I do think it's crazy. Like, it's just like, what's it like? I mean, and speaking as a living, breathing troll. I mean, I'm a big troll and I love to troll people, but it's like, I don't know what it's like to be so obsessed with someone that you're never really gonna actually know or be able to touch or be able to be close to the point where you take the time. What?
This is you can't say that and be obsessed with Trey Anastasio like you are.
Okay, whoa. I am not obsessed with Trey Anastasio on even a remotely close level as Swifties are for Swifties. And I will tell you, people talk shit on Trey, and I'm not out there, like, trolling their pages. Like, I'm not out there trolling their pages. Like, King Giz literally, like, talks so much shit about Trey Anastasio. Like, I'm not out there, like doing that. I mean, I'm a huge Trey stan, and, like, I would like to defend him, but I'm not even, like, and I'm seriously saying this wholeheartedly, I am not even remotely close to, like, the level these Swifties are on. Like, there are fans that at every single turn, any post, any move that John Mayer makes, they are there to tear him down. And, like, they literally dated, like, over a decade ago. Like, she was 19 and now she's in her 30s. Like, say what you want about whatever the hell went down with them, and we don't give a fuck, so we're not going to get into it. But it's like, there are people that are never going to leave him alone until the day that he fucking dies. And when he dies, they will be there to dance on his grave. Like, I would never claim to be that at that level with Fish. Like, no way. I don't even have him tattooed on my body. I'm getting there, but I'm not there yet. Not
Shout
yet.
out, what is it, Tatapic? Is that what it is?
Tatapic, yeah. Shout out Tatapic. If you're looking for a temporary tattoo, check him out. Pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool. I'm not saying, like, I think it takes a certain degree of, let's call it what it is, a certain degree of mental illness to actually get to that point.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't know. I'm calling it like I see it. To some extent. I'm not saying whatever. I'm not saying anything crazy, but, like, yeah, if you're doing that specifically, then you've got some interesting things going on in your life. I'll say that.
Yeah.
But so what was your original point, that, like, you couldn't see yourself being obsessed with someone to that point?
Yeah.
That you'll never meet?
Yeah. Like, I just don't, I don't see myself, like, getting to that level where I'm, like, trolling anyone and everyone that has something bad to say about them, I guess. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I don't feel like I'm that way about Trey, because
no.
I think I'm smart enough to realize, like, I feel like I'm smart enough to realize that there are things that are very weird about Fish. There are things that are very weird about Trey Anastasio. So, like, I'm not going to go out here and, like, act like he's the fucking greatest thing in the whole entire world, because he's definitely not. Like, and I feel like that would make me look kind of idiotic. Shout out Swifties.
Yeah. I would say, everyone has some degree of a celebrity idol. Is, like, pretty, the way that the entertainment industry works is, like, there's lots of money put behind people to become those idols, Beliebers and Swifties and, Lizzo fans. I don't know if she has a word for those. Munchkins. Shout out Ice Spice. She calls them Munchkins. Okay, very quick tangent. Did you see, I think this, like, her and Ben Affleck did, like, a Dunkin commercial during the VMAs.
Oh, God.
I don't want to talk about the commercial specifically. I don't really care. Like, it's very clear. Like, I mean, Ice Spice literally looks like she was pulled off the streets of New York and just thrown into a Dunkin with no acting. Fine. Fair enough. Fine. Get the money. But her and Dunkin did, like, a collab drink. And the drink is, it's like a frosted coffee. Because, Dunkin is, like, they have the worst, like, actual coffee out of any coffee brand. I believe this is true. They have last pick in terms of coffee beans of any, like, large distributor in America. Wow. Starbucks gets first.
Who'd they
I believe
off?
That's right. No, I think it's just, like, they don't spend enough money to, like, I don't know. I think that's how they prefer it, because they keep it cheap. And I think a lot of people, maybe this is a shout at people, whatever. I don't really like Dunkin' that much. It's fine. But like Dunkin'
it's
is
fine.
really good coffee for people who don't like coffee.
Yeah.
That's what they're
Agreed.
catered for.
Sure.
That's not a hot take, right?
No, it's not a hot take. I mean, also, it's like, I'm like, I love how Dunkin' went through their, like, rebranding, where they're like, guys, we are more than a donut shop. Did you fucking know that we sell food? It's like, no, like, why? Like, we want the fucking donuts. Like, what's wrong with being a donut shop? And they're like, we are not Dunkin' Donuts anymore. We're Dunkin'. Like, I feel like that was kind of an utter fail. Like, you should have stayed at, like, stay in your lane and, like, do what you're good at. And that was making average donuts, right? Average donuts and cheap coffee. Like, I don't want a breakfast sandwich from Dunkin'. Like, have I had one? Yeah, but that's because it was probably the only place open at the time, you know? Like, I got to the airport at 4 a.m. The only place open was Dunkin' Donuts, so I got a fucking shitty breakfast sandwich. Yeah, it was $2, but, like, you know?
Yeah, they're not bad, but they're not good, the breakfast sandwiches. And they get a little too cute with it sometimes. Anyway, so the whole point is the drink it's like some like frosted coffee abomination. I swear to God, they put 3 donut holes in the drink and then also top it with like whipped cream and like caramel syrup and all that. Swear to God, yeah. They put actual donuts in there, like because they're called munchkins, like the donut holes.
Yeah, and they're terrible.
Yeah.
They're dry.
So they put them in the. Well, they won't be dry in the drink. They're gonna be covered in God knows what. Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can find it. Like I saw someone
Sorry,
like
Dunkin'
who works
Donuts.
for Dunkin', someone who works for Dunkin' like leaked like the recipe. Let's see if I can find it really quick.
Oh gosh, liquid
So it starts-
cane sugar. Liquid cane sugar. Oh God, if that is not the most American product I've ever heard of. Pumpkin munchkins, donut hole treats, caramel drizzle, whipped cream, caramel drizzle. Damn. So it's it's taking a donut hole, which is already not that great. Like, I'm all for conserving the dough, because that's the whole point of donut holes, right? Like, it's like, what do we do with this extra piece of dough from cutting the hole in the middle? Sure, fry it up, serve it at a lower price. I'm on board for that. But they're already not that great. To then soak them in the world's worst coffee, cream, and liquid cane sugar. Like, this is why, like, this is going back to my argument about everything in America causing cancer. This is the number one culprit. This is the number one culprit.
No, the more I think about what you said, the more I kind of agree, actually. I mean, this, like, this might, I mean, there's, like, a large number of people alive in the world right now that this would kill if they consumed it.
Yeah.
You know? They would drop dead if they tried to ingest an entire large Ice Spice Munchkins drink. And then on the other side of the spectrum, there's people who start their morning with this. They're on, they're on their way to work, and they're like, God, I just need an Ice Spice Munchkins drink on their way to school, etc. Now, just really quick, I do want to say, do you notice something missing on this list of ingredients?
Yeah,
do you notice anything?
Yeah, dude.
Go ahead.
The coffee.
Yeah, there's no coffee. There's no
coffee,
coffee in
man.
this coffee drink. There's coffee syrup, which is not coffee. I don't know how common that is for like because they have like a bunch of like crazy like mixed frosted coffee drinks, frappuccino, whatever's.
Yeah.
But like, is that common for Dunkin' drinks? They don't have coffee in them. That seems a little strange.
So I will say, the last time, also, I want to point out, hopefully if you're watching on YouTube, you'll have this as a visual aid, but if you can see there in that liquid sugarcane section, if you get a large, it is 8 pumps of liquid sugarcane.
I'm glad you said that, yes.
It is 8 pumps of liquid sugarcane. So actually, interestingly enough, the last time I got coffee from Dunkin' was in the Biloxi, the Hard Rock Casino in Biloxi, and it's interesting you bring this up because, yeah, it was insanely sweet, and it did taste like there was almost no coffee in it. I think I got like an iced, like, honey latte or cinnamon something, and yeah, it was so nasty. Like, two sips in, I was like, oh my God, like, just straight sugar. Maybe that's how they get. I mean, maybe that's how they get away with it. Like you already said, they don't really have access, or they get the last pick of the beans. So they're like, yeah, half of our drinks actually aren't going to have coffee with it. And because we know that our customers aren't really coffee snobs, we know that they aren't going to notice or care.
No, it's literally what it is. Like the coffee is like you've had like community coffee, right? It's like gas station coffee. You ever had that? It's basically what it is. Like community coffee is arguably better than Dunkin'. And it's way cheaper. but like no, they know. Like trust me, they know. You're right. They do it very deliberately because it's almost Dunkin's like the gateway to coffee.
Yeah.
It's like if you're like 16, 17, maybe older, but you just never drank coffee, something like that.
Yeah.
You're like, well, I don't really want a strong coffee taste because that's bad. But I want like a drink in the morning. You want to fit in. All about American consumerism is all about fitting in. You see the commercials and you like, you see a Folgers commercial. It's like, man, like that sounds nice to wake up to some kind of drink, whether it's hot or cold or whatever, just a nice drink to start your morning. So you're like, well, that's, I want to fit in, but I don't really like coffee. Well, Dunkin's got something for you. It's the Ice Spice Munchkins drink with no coffee in it. But you can tell people, I can't wake up before I have my coffee.
Right? Hey, everyone wants to wake up with Folgers in their cup. That's the quote if you were searching for it. And actually, it's kind of crazy that you brought that up about gas station coffee because I started drinking coffee when I was in about 6th grade. And I learned, because, arguably, you've got to, kind of adjust to the taste. Like, if you just have a coffee for the first time and just love it, you're hard. That's pretty sick. The first types of coffee I used to drink were from the gas station. I remember my mom would get them before we would go to church on Wednesday nights. And sometimes she would let me have a sip of it or two. And that's how I actually started getting into coffee was literally like you said, the community coffee in the gas station where you press a button. It's like a fresh cappuccino. I'm like, there's literally no way that this is a cappuccino. A cappuccino is actually pretty hard to make and perfect. But that's what it was like. That's what my mom would buy, and that's kind of the first coffee that I ever started drinking. But we've talked about this before. I'm by no means a coffee snob anyway. I'm a 1 cup a day kind of person. I could say this tastes pretty bad or this tastes good, but, I'm not really a snob about it.
Well, if you're not a snob for coffee, let me introduce you to the Ice Spice Munchkins drink. You want to start your morning with 8 pumps of liquid cane sugar? I'm just really quick.
I'm just embarrassing, dude. Yeah, look up the calorie count. I was gonna have you do that earlier. Look up the calorie count.
I want to say off the top of my head, it's 1,080 for the large. I think I saw someone say that.
That's a pretty good guess. I've also been jealous, we were saying, what type of people just wake up and start their day with this. I don't know if I'm jealous or if I'm happy that I'm not the type of person. If I drank this, it would wreck me. I think it would wreck me for the whole day. My stomach would turn inside out. I've always, I guess, been kind of jealous of maybe not a lot of people in your life, but everybody has someone in their life that's insanely skinny and just can eat whatever they want and literally could just consume their body weight in calories and it just shoots through them. What's that like?
That's going to come up later in the episode. I'm glad you said that. That's a nice, that's foreshadowing for something I'm going to show you later on. I'm glad you said that.
You're welcome.
It's different bodies, different metabolism. That's what I was looking for. Some people just have insanely fast metabolisms. They just don't. Anyway, can I read you this headline really quick? Independent.co.uk. Dunkin fans appalled by amount of sugar in Ice Spice's Munchkins drink. Quote, this should be illegal. End quote. Agreed. I have 100% agreement.
Yeah. If San Francisco can ban all vapes, the United States should ban this drink. Did you know that, by the way, that you can't buy any type of vape in San Francisco? You can't, and it's a legal state. So you can buy, it's interesting. You can, and I know this because my best friend lives in San Francisco. Shout out to my best friend that lives in San Francisco. But no, you can't, and so San Francisco is a legal state cannabis-wise, so you can buy weed anywhere, but they do not sell, batteries or, weed pens, and they don't sell, what's the other thing? Nicotine. They don't sell vapes or any type. So if you want a Stig or another type of vape, I'm not a vape expert, you have to literally basically buy it on the San Francisco black market, which I can't imagine how dangerous that is. But yeah, they outlawed it I think last year. So you can't there's literally no type of vape that you can buy there. So I'm here's my point. I'll shut the fuck up. Here's my point. If San Francisco can ban vapes, this drink should be banned everywhere. Did we get the calorie count?
It's not. They're trying to suppress it. All right. I got on an FBI watch list for trying to Google this nutritional count because I think they're trying to stop. They're trying to stop me from figuring it out.
Oh my God.
I'm seeing it has the same amount of sugar as 4.5 donuts, which seems low. I would think it'd be more than that.
4.5 donuts though. Look, I'd be lying if I said that I haven't eaten more than 4 donuts in a sitting. I have.
Yeah,
I
insane.
absolutely have. But Jesus, in a drink, like that's what sucks about it. It's not even filling you up. Like you're just drinking sugar is probably like the worst thing for your health. Like if you can avoid drinking sugar, like that's a really, really great step because as we've said on the Leen Show before, there's so much sugar in American food. So if you're drinking sugar on top of that, straight way to diabetes type 2.
Yeah, I mean, we wonder why we have the current health crisis that we do, and it's
oh my God,
not really a surprise at all. Also, like, and this is like kind of related, but like, when was the last time you looked at the menu at IHOP or Denny's? If you like look at those menus
college,
and
probably.
like you look at those menus and it's like, I mean, it'll be like it's like the Bananas Foster caramel swirl cream with a side of cream cheese, and it's like 1,500 calories, like 100 grams of sugar, and people eat that in the morning. That's how they start their day, and then like they're probably starving 3 hours after that because there's no actual food in there. And then what do? Well, they go to McDonald's, they go to Wendy's, and they get a burger and fries, and that kind of holds them over a little bit until dinner, where they, I don't know,
Chick-fil-A
probably don't eat because they can't afford it.
And here's the thing. This is how fucked up Americans are. They're like, oh, okay, I've had IHOP for breakfast. I have had McDonald's for lunch. I'm going to get something healthy for dinner, so I'm going to go to Chick-fil-A. Like, the fucking fallacy that Chick-fil-A is healthy is hysterical to me. Like, people genuinely believe that Chick-fil-A, like, just isn't fast food. Like, it's just, like, healthy for you. Like, what are you talking about? It's a fried chicken sandwich on a brioche bun. Like, no part of that is healthy. And they're like, well, it's cooked in peanut oil. Okay. It could be cooked in olive oil. It's still a fried piece of chicken on a brioche bun. And, like, people love, like, that take on Chick-fil-A. They're like, oh, well, it's cooked in peanut oil. I'm like, so? Who said peanuts were healthy for you? Like,
I would like, for that segment, I would need to phone in an expert and see, like, if that actually does anything. I don't think it does at all. You're right. I think it's more of, like, for the taste. Because, like, they don't fry their chicken strips in peanut oil. That whole thing?
oh,
So that's why
no,
they
that's
taste
why
different.
they taste different?
Fun fact, life hack. There you go.
Did not know that. And my boyfriend even worked at Chick-fil-A. And I did not know that.
Yeah, I want to say, I don't know what they fried the chicken strips in, but it's not in peanut oil. Because I think, like, they needed something on the menu for people with a peanut allergy. So that's kind of, they just made strips for that. I think that's the philosophy.
Yeah. No, definitely.
But did you see they're bringing Chick-fil-A to the UK? The UK?
Wow. Congratulations, London. Damn, just as Julia's leaving. That fucking sucks. I bet she's pissed about that.
I know. Where is she going to get Chick-fil-A now?
Yeah, goddamn. That sucks.
All right, Kathleen, have you been to a play recently? When was the last time you went to a play?
Have I been to a play recently? Yes, actually. I went to New York City in March for my sister's 21st birthday, and we saw Wicked. And it wasn't my first time.
Okay. So you did not see Beetlejuice?
No.
You didn't see Beetlejuice?
No, and I wouldn't. Is that a Tim Burton movie? Did he do the original Beetlejuice?
He did. Yes.
Yeah. Freaking, you can just tell. Anything Tim Burton, you can see like what one character looks like or what one character's outfit is, and you can be like, yeah, that's a Tim Burton movie.
Yeah, he's got a style.
Yeah, he's got a style.
He's definitely got a style. But so it wasn't Beetlejuice. Well,
No.
there's another woman who also saw a play, but she did not see Wicked. She saw Beetlejuice. This woman is named Lauren Boebert, and she is a representative in Congress for the great state of Colorado. And she allegedly, and we're going to watch the video to confirm this, or maybe not confirm it. We'll see. Do your own research, people. Apparently, she was vaping at a Beetlejuice show in Denver, and she got kicked out. And it's a big controversy right now. Now,
Alright.
I do know a decent amount about Lauren, and her past is fucking hilarious, I think, and I will explain that in a second. But I just think, just kind of set the scene. Let's watch a news report that was done on the event.
All right.
So
For my YouTube watchers, I'm moving closer to my computer so that I can really see this video and make it informed decision
gotta
about it.
make your own, do your own research, make your own decision.
Boebert. Say it 3 times and she appears in security video from a weekend performance of Beetlejuice.
Wait. I did not know that's how it started.
Hot start.
Oh my god.
Boebert. No, that guy was like so happy with himself, or whoever came up with that line is so happy with themselves right now. Iconic start. Strong start.
That's great. Okay, here we go.
Boebert. Say it 3 times and she appears in security video from a weekend performance of Beetlejuice, where the Congresswoman was kicked out of the theater for being disruptive. The DCPA says she was vaping. Boebert's team denied that, said the haze was from fog machines in the show.
Hold on. The haze was from fog machines in the show. And Jarvis, enhance. Oh my god, Lauren. Ghost it, Lauren. What is she doing? You see that? Look at this.
That claim goes up in smoke when you see the video.
Lauren, what are you doing? Did you start vaping yesterday? Like, dude, the ego, the gall to just blow a cloud out in the middle of a place when you're a member of Congress. That's wild. Okay, let's keep it playing.
I want to see if the couple in front of her turns around, because that's going to be a key sign too, because vape clouds fucking smell. They're not subtle.
Oh yeah.
Standing up in the crowd. Boebert occasionally took a break from being disruptive to enjoy the company of her male companion. He briefly had a grasp on the situation before ushers returned.
Dude.
Did they hire a comedian to write this? Like this is like late night show. This is like a late night script.
Yeah.
Or like this is like a Tonight Show monologue.
Yeah, no, literally.
This is wild.
Before ushers returned and told Boebert she had to leave. The theater's incident report says Boebert pulled the "Don't you know who I am" card on the way out, giving theater employees the single finger salute.
Oh my god. There's a lot. Okay, there's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah, there's a lot to unpack.
There's a lot. So
you go first.
Can we just hold on? Can we just do a round of applause for Kyle Clark, who wrote that? I presume.
Yeah. Shout out. That was freaking hilarious. You should.
That was great.
I heard Jimmy Fallon's staff's pretty pissed off, so he might have some openings soon on the Tonight Show. So you should genuinely try out. Yeah,
this is Boebert. I love that.
Say it 3 times and she'll appear.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we really gotta. So right after she blows the cloud and like her team's like, oh, it was just smoke from the show. Okay, fine, but right after that, okay, so just frame by frame here, and it's so funny. Like they found every single moment of this happening in the security footage, but a pregnant woman is sitting behind her and goes, "Hey, could you please stop blowing like sweet tart watermelon into the or whatever." Cotton candy, vanilla sugar, whatever crazy flavor she has. Yeah. Mango habanero blast, whatever. Like, could you please stop? I don't want to secondhand inhale that. And she's like, yeah, sure. And then just never stopped. Okay. The flash, that's so egregious. That's worse than vaping almost. The flash photography, that is unreal. Like, do you have any decorum?
It's like the #1 no-no in any play, movie, anything like that. Like, Jesus.
How did they find, like, how meticulous did you have to scan the security footage to find the 1-second clip of her, like, feeling her up just for that moment?
Yeah.
How long did that take? That's crazy.
Yeah. So you want to hear my thoughts? So, sorry. Someone just honked very loudly outside my window. Do you think what are the odds that you think that she was?
Okay, clearly, you're not meant for New York because you got to just power through these things sometimes.
No, I know. Sorry, I think a truck is giving birth outside my apartment right now. So what are the odds that you think that she was on acid? And wait, before you respond, hear me out. If anything, if you're gonna take acid for a play, Beetlejuice is the play to do it. Absolutely is the play to do it. Like, her behavior was very, very weird. Like, what are the chances that she was tripping?
0.
0?
Because of her politics. And because if you know, like, there's a lot to unpack there from her past, like context that I don't think you would have in making that guess. No, I think the far more likely answer is that she's like drunk and she's just like an incredibly disrespectful person in public.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot more likely.
The trip
I
she's
get
on is a power trip. That's the trip she's on. Power.
She's on a Coors Light trip. That's what it is. You know, she's on a tequila trip. Whatever her drink of choice is. She seems like a blue collar woman. So I'm gonna go with. She probably used to drink Bud Light, but now Bud Light's gay. So probably Coors or Miller. Probably made that switch at some point. Yeah. So it's not a great look for Congress. Okay, here we go. Embrace debate. What's worse? What's a worse look for Congress? Mitch McConnell just like blacking out in press conferences, or Lauren Boebert vaping and getting kicked out for being too rowdy at a Beetlejuice play?
Yeah, both are tough. I don't know. The Mitch McConnell thing is just like almost scary, and I think the Lauren Bading, whatever, what's her freaking Boebert. Yeah, Lauren Boebert. Hey, new name for her, Lauren Bobo. After this, I'm labeling her as that. Lauren Boebert.
More like Lauren Bozo.
Is just like more Lauren Boebert. More like Lauren Bozo. Can't believe Kyle missed that one. Like, that was freaking easy. Like, you got the hard ones. You nailed the puns that none of us could see coming, but you didn't get the easy ones. Whatever. Yeah. So the Mitch McConnell thing is just like terrifying to me as a citizen, that he's a person of power that's making influential decisions. The Lauren Bobo thing is more so just like, where, like, what are we doing as Americans, right? Like, we've just, like, we've lost, people already don't respect us. God, they already don't respect us. We're just giving them more reasons to not respect us. Like, that's all we're doing here in this situation. And it's like, you can't sit through one play without just, like, losing your shit or hitting your vape. Like, come on. No. It's just embarrassing. It's honestly embarrassing.
So I'm glad you said that, because it transitions well into a little bit of Lauren's background. Would you like to know, you didn't, like, I know you looked her up a little bit, but you don't know what she did before Congress, right? You don't know?
No. You know me. I looked her up and I read the first fucking article and I was like, I'm going with this. Facts.
She made a very not seamless transition, you would think, from being a restaurant owner in Rifle, Colorado, literally what it's called. It's called Rifle, Colorado. It's a very small, very right-wing, gun-loving part of Colorado. Because Colorado is a very interesting state politically.
Yeah.
Because the big cities are very liberal. And it's sort of similar to, like, California in this way, where, like, there's little pockets of California that are super conservative, but the state's pretty liberal. But, yeah, there are, like, these little rural pockets of Colorado that are, like, very, you know, farming, old school, agriculture, you know, very rural. And Rifle is one of those places. It's not very big, but I love telling this story. She so she was like just like a regular woman. She's a regular person. And in 2013, she opened a restaurant in Rifle called Shooter's Grill. And the gimmick was every waitress had a gun around their hip.
No effing way.
Yeah, you want to watch the video? I can find a video of it.
Duh.
This is a very good business model. They make great burgers, you know, and they promote firearms. And so for Rifle, it's great.
Entrepreneurs Lauren and Jason Boebert promise customers more bang for their buck
the fucking
at their
Brit
restaurant
narrating.
in Rifle, Colorado.
This is like so funny because this is like it's a Daily Mail video, and so you just know it's some UK person like, all right, we found this woman who's gonna make Americans look like absolute morons.
Yep.
So like, let's air this to a British audience, and they go, bloody hell, they're just walking around with guns.
You read my mind.
Astonishingly, the waitresses
I
at the
plead the
Shooter's
second.
Grill are all fully armed with loaded guns as they serve your meal. And they know how
Okay,
to
keep
use
going.
them. The restaurateurs may have 4 children, but they keep a considerable arsenal in their house. While they take measures to keep things safe at home, it was a moment of violence that inspired the new spin on their eating establishment.
There was an altercation in our back alley that ended in a man losing his life, and I began to look into getting a concealed weapons permit so I could start carrying. I learned in Colorado you do not need a concealed carry permit to open carry, so I began to open carry my tourist judge the next day.
Open carry is simply when you're carrying a firearm that's visible. For instance, right now I'm carrying my firearm, it's visible. That would be considered open carry. Concealed carry is simply when you're carrying a weapon that's concealed, whether that's underneath your jacket, in an ankle holster, or some type like that.
Now Lauren prepares for work each day by strapping on her
thanks.
pistol.
I actually didn't know that, so I learned something.
You didn't know that? Okay.
I didn't know that.
I think that was put in for the British audience to be like, all right, look, you don't know what these things are, so let's just, me as an American, let me explain what's going on here.
Right. They're like,
All right,
there's
keep going.
over there in America, there's 2 different types of ways that you can carry your gun. And they're like, we don't even have guns over here, but okay, thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
And at the restaurant, all staff undergo firearms training.
All of our waitresses at Shooter's Grill are required to take a concealed weapons training class. All the firearms that are carried by my staff are real.
Business is booming. Look at that. Yeah, I tell you what, business is booming. There's what, 1 table of a family there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, you get the point. The video
Jesus.
that's that woman is a member of Congress now. Also, that was pre-media training for her. Not that she's very media trained now. Let's be honest. Like, you saw that, the
Right.
clip from earlier, but there's a lot of stuttering, not a lot of confidence. She's gotten some media training before that. But the video that, like, I remember watching, I did a project on her and someone else about, like, 2 years ago. The video I remember watching is there's one where they're interviewing, like, patrons of shooters, and they're just like, who wouldn't want to come here? It's just a great, wholesome place to get an American meal, and, they support what I support. And it's just all, like, everyone in the building's 80 and above. Everybody. It's everybody. And it's so clearly like just old dudes who are just like forcing their wives to come to this place. And she's like, why do you want to go to Shooters again? It's like, I like the food, I like the country fried steak. I like the burger. But he's just there to like look at the guns and the girls. Like, who wouldn't want to go there? They got girls and guns.
Insanity. Is this place still open?
No, it closed. It
When?
closed in 2022, I saw on her Wikipedia page.
Progress.
Um,
Do you think they closed it like because she became like because she got into politics and they're like, this is a bombshell that we don't want to drop?
No, it was open for like a year and a half while she was in Congress because she joined. This is funny. She joined Congress on like what I think it was like January 4th, 2021 or whatever. She was a part of that class.
Okay.
Her and another woman named Marjorie Taylor Greene are kind of like the two. They're very similar in a lot of ways. You probably don't know who that is. Do you know who that is?
No, of course not.
Yeah. Well, they kind of like they came in like right as like January 6th happened and the whole like they were big Trump people. Anyway, so what makes her very interesting is essentially she was like a no-name restaurant owner, but she got all this press from being so like Second Amendment friendly, so like into guns, Rifle Colorado, it's just whatever. So, she got some like she got a taste of fame. She's like, this tastes pretty good. I like this, Unlike the food that at Shooters,
Right.
It's like it's pretty good. I like this. So she kind of, gets a little more and more and more involved in local politics. And specifically, I want to say in like 2019, I think 2018, 2019, she went to some political rally with some Democratic candidate who was doing like a rally. And she showed up and just started like screaming at him for something. I can't remember even what. but she just starts screaming at him. And then like a bunch of right-wing media picked it up, like, look at this strong woman showing it to that Democrat. And so through that, and also through the press of shooters, she got a little political money and decided to run for Congress. And she, in a major upset, beat an incumbent, Roy Tipton, I think. And she also won her re-election in 2022.
Wow.
So she is still currently a member of Congress.
As we've seen since the election of 2020, or excuse me, the election of 2016, all it takes to get into politics in America is to be famous. Like, you gotta get famous first, and then you can become a politician.
Her and this woman, Marjorie Taylor Greene, they essentially, like, they're not really even politicians. Like, they have really very little interest in, like, U.S. politics or U.S. history or any of these things. Quite literally, they're just huge fans of Trump.
Right.
And they kind of realize, like, hey, if I just, like, literally in, like, they, like, they both literally just word for word steal Trump lines and just say them.
Yeah.
And so, like, all they really do is they're like, well, I'm like Trump. And then so the Trump fans are going to be like, oh, well, I like her. And so,
Damn.
But, like, they have no understanding of American politics at all outside of that.
Right.
Like, they have no policy ideas. Lauren Boebert was a Democrat before she opened shooters.
Of course she was. Yeah,
like, she literally was. Like, she was a registered Democrat from 06 to 08. The way that American politics changed after 2016 is it became a popularity contest. Not that it wasn't always. It was always kind of strouted as a popularity contest. But it really turned into, like, you could have no idea what's going on in your state. You could have no policy ideas other than, like, guns are awesome and people should do what they want.
Yeah.
And that's like, that's literally like it. That's like all she said. Like, she got asked about other policies. She's like, I don't know. Yeah.
They're like, that's
whatever.
enough.
They would just like feed her something to say. And she's like, yeah, I'll do that. Like, the only thing she actually cared about was guns and freedom. And she won based on that with no political experience, really no political knowledge at all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and she won, and she also won re-election, so she's still currently a member of Congress. And, that's just, it is what it is. That's
the American dream right there.
It is. It really is. You go from, a restaurant owner to,
No, there's
one of the most influential,
y'all know that I love to quote The Office as fact, but there's a good quote in The Office from Nellie where she says, that's the American dream, isn't it? And she goes, anything can happen to anyone. It's just random. And that's the American dream. And I'm like, hey, it's pretty true. Anything can happen to anyone. It's completely random. And that's the American dream right there.
I mean, yeah, and then also I will say what's not random is her getting kicked out of the show, because that was very that was very deliberate. It was very doesn't matter who you are, that's probably going to happen.
Yeah. No, and it's just like, it's so disrespectful and just like why, especially after the pregnant woman asked her to stop. That's where it's really like, dang, like, and maybe she didn't realize she was pregnant, you know what I mean? But I mean, we could tell from the video that woman was pregnant, but yeah, it's just wild. And I'm really surprised, honestly, that she was reelected in Colorado. I guess I know nothing about anything, but I would assume that Colorado is a super liberal state, but I guess the way you explained it, like, there's definitely pockets that are pretty Republican. But it is kind of shocking to me.
She's a representative, so she represents a small area of Colorado, not the state elected her. It's like that, right? There's like a state has 2 senators, and then every congressional district has a representative in Congress. This is like 6. Yes.
That's cool.
No.
No. I didn't. No,
that's
I didn't
cool.
know that. I didn't know that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Huh. So that's how that works.
Yeah. No, I had no clue. I mean, I took civics in the 6th grade, man. That's the last time. When else are you gonna learn that information?
They definitely taught you that then.
I'm supposed to remember everything I learned in the 6th grade?
I don't really know what's the point of being taught it if you don't remember it now.
Yeah, that's a good point. No, I honestly did not know that. I don't care if that makes me look dumb. I don't care. No, I didn't know that.
Well, this is the average American voter, so don't feel bad. That's kind of how Lauren Boebert happens in the first place, is voters who are like, you know, they get handed a sheet of paper and there's 2 names, and one of them goes like, she shoots guns, and you're like, that's enough. All right, check it off.
That's enough.
You know, that's enough. Also, this is a little unrelated, but Marjorie Taylor Greene, so she represents Dalton, Georgia, which is like a wild place. I'll just say that. It's a wild place. But she was, when she ran in 2020, her opponent, her Republican opponent, was a brain surgeon.
Wow.
And she won over a brain surgeon.
Wow.
In the primary. Yeah. So I just think that's fun too.
God bless
America. I'm not saying the brain surgeon was probably like the smartest political mind. You know, it's kind of 2 different things to do that. A woman with more or less 0 qualifications of any kind pretty decisively beat a neurosurgeon in a 2020 election. So that's kind of that's the state of things right now. That's kind of the way things work. You know, but what are you going to do? Move?
Right. Well, and I'm curious, so that was going to be my next question. Sure, this is a news story. Sure, people are commenting about it, but like it's not like anything's going to actually happen to her. Right? No. Like she's not going to jail for this. Right? I mean,
she's not going to get impeached.
Her. Yeah.
No, it's more of just like people already, like, it's really not even surprising. People just like dunking on her because she's just like so unlikable. Yeah. And so very I'll just say clearly not super smart. Like, let's be honest, it's kind of like giving when you only elect someone based on like you like the things they say, and the things they say aren't even like that complex or anything. You just like purely vote on like, oh, that's cool, I'm gonna vote for her. This is kind of what you get, because this is way closer to the average. If anything, she's maybe a better representative of the average American than like most other politicians who are like very buttoned up and they talk, you know, like, oh, I love that question, thank you for asking that question. So here's what no, she doesn't do that. She's just like, I want to go vape at Beetlejuice, and if you kick me out, I'm gonna be like, you don't know who I am? I'm Lauren fucking Boebert. You don't know who I am? They're like, we know exactly who you are, and like, we are delighted to kick you out. Please leave.
Definitely. Lauren Bozo.
I'm starting a new segment that I like to call I Need Her. All right. It's a bit of a matchmaking segment. It's a bit of, you know, let's get some love, and you know, there's not enough love in this show, you know.
No.
There's a lot of hate.
Jinx.
Yeah, you know. But it's time that we kind of, you know, like I'm a single man, you know. So I think I want to bring a little bit of, you know, kind of, it's called I Need Her. And, it, you know, and so the segment's going to be, I show you women I see on social media that one way or another I find very intriguing, you know? Okay. Not saying attracted to, not saying not attracted to, but I'm saying, you know, women that I would like to spend some time with. Some women that I would like, you know, that I'm interested in, you know, I'm just interested.
All right. That's fair.
So I have one right here that this video doesn't have a lot of views. I found her on TikTok, and she's like, the videos were kind of big on TikTok, but this is her. Okay. I Need Her. Here we go. Sharing the screen. You have no context to this too, by the way, so you have not seen this.
No, I haven't.
You ready?
Yeah.
So this is going back to people who can eat or drink whatever they want and not get fat. Here we go.
Okay.
Sorry. The video is called A Day in the Life of a Japanese Alcoholic. You ready?
Yeah.
Have you ever come across a Japanese lady who guzzles a whopping 30 bottles of booze daily? Meet Keiko, a 30-year-old corporate employee from Tokyo whose daily routine starts with pouring herself a beer as soon as she wakes up at 10 a.m. Keiko has a unique diet that revolves around alcohol, and for breakfast today, she paired hot dogs with beer.
Okay, really quick, is that worse than the ice spice drink to start your morning? Can we say that? Is that worse to open it with a beer? Embrace debate.
Well, it's a beer and hot dogs was the combo I heard.
A beer and hot dogs, yes.
Versus the ice spice drink. I say the ice spice drink's still worse. I think a beer and
I think
hot
it's
dog
still
is
worse
better.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get some protein from the hot dogs. Like,
yeah.
You get some carbs, from the beer, I guess.
The beer's probably fermented, right? So it's good. It's gut healthy. The beer's gut healthy. The hot dogs have protein.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Keep going.
Okay.
Indulging in 2 large glasses of beer, Keiko got dressed and headed out to a famous izakaya in her hometown of Okayama.
This
izakaya is well known in the area, not only for its great drinks, but also for the view of the Lahu Bridge that it offers. As someone who loves drinking, Keiko couldn't wait to visit. Before her dishes came, she had a few glasses of beer to wet her throat. Keiko has no other hobbies except drinking, so whenever she is free, she searches for izakayas. She has been drinking since she turned 18 and can't eat it.
Can we just...
wait, that was the second, like, red flag to me. First, they used the word guzzle, and then they said wet her throat. So they're either, like, deliberately trying to make this a little bit sexual, or this is just a really, really horrible translation from Japanese into English. What do you think?
No, I think they're just like shitting on her. I think they're trying to because I think what's happening here, and if you're listening, so if you're listening, you're not watching the video. Basically, all you're missing is a petite Japanese woman sitting in various places drinking beer. That's the entire visual aspect to this.
Yeah.
No, but I think what it is I think Kiko, vlogs herself, but she's like a Japanese vlogger. And so, because if you see the video here, there's like a blur right behind, you see that? Like right behind the captions right here?
Yeah.
So I think that might be like captions in Japanese. So
True.
I think what this is it's an American woman, or I think an American woman, like voicing over these vlogs that she does to kind of like raise awareness, I guess, of like Kiko and what she's got going on.
Right.
Can we just go back to sorry, let me get the quote right. Let's play this back.
Before her dishes came, she had a few glasses of beer to wet her throat. Keiko has no other hobbies except drinking, so whenever she is free, she searches for izakayas.
I mean, I need her.
I need her in my life.
That is what I need.
You finally found a girl that can keep up with you. This is the girl.
Now, if me and Kiko joined forces, would we be alive 5 years from now? I don't know. Probably, would we have severe health complications? Probably. But
that's
love. I'm so intrigued by Kiko. How does she keep such a slender figure? I know the Japanese diet is very healthy, a lot of fish, a lot of rice.
Yeah.
I'm sure that helps. I'm sure the beer she's drinking isn't super dark either. I don't think she's drinking like hazy IPAs. I think she's drinking like Japanese style beer. If you ever had a Sapporo or anything,
they're pretty good.
Light.
Yeah,
they're pretty light. But I feel a connection between Kiko. I think I can fix her.
Yeah.
I think I can introduce her to another hobby except drinking.
Yeah, I think you can too. You guys would be a cute couple, and she's probably she's like you said, she's a petite woman, so I'm not like characterizing here. I'm looking at her and she's petite, so she's probably short, and you're really tall, so that'd be kind of cute.
Turned 18 and can't eat a meal without alcohol. Her alcohol tolerance is beyond the average person. For instance, she can drink 5 or 6 large bottles of beer without feeling anything. She spends almost all of her salary on drinking, and the only criterion she has for finding a boyfriend is that he can drink more than her. Perhaps that's why she's still
Kiko.
single.
There it is.
Hey, Kiko, you found him.
You gotta find her Instagram.
Oh, man. I don't know if she has Instagram. I think she's too busy drinking.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just assume, everything about her life, just every, does she watch TV? What does she do with her? I think everything is just, she's either asleep or she's drinking actively.
Yeah. I mean, they said she has no hobbies outside of drinking, so.
And you know what? I've seen, I've seen this one, but I've seen a couple of her other little vlogs. I believe it. It because what's very funny is Japan is one of the most beautiful countries in the world, insane history, spanning back thousands of years, and very beautiful nature.
Yeah, totally.
And
Totally.
so they kind of show a lot of that in like her vlogs, where she'll go to Kyoto, which is where all the shrines and the old temples are. You know, she'll go on like a boat or like a canoe, like do like a canoe through a lake, and it's all very beautiful. And the vlogs are just her, like the voiceover is just like, Kiko paired this with a beer. And it's just like, it's so funny because it's like she's just surrounded by all this natural beauty, and it's just like in her mind she probably does not give a single fuck about any of that. She's probably like, God, I've seen these cherry blossoms before, I just don't care, you know? Because like that's kind of how your mind works. Like, yeah, because like when you're drinking that much, you're not like taking in the natural beauty, right? Like, you're not, right. You know? So it's just, it's I find her so fascinating. Okay,
no, this
like,
is.
Would I, do I think we're meant to be? I don't know yet. Okay. I don't know yet. I could see, I could see some issues with the relationship.
Yeah.
I could see an issue or two, but I'm just so intrigued by her. So let's just watch a little bit more.
Let's do it.
After enjoying the perfect meal, Keiko took a taxi home and played with her dog for a while. Feeling bored, she decided to take her dog for a walk. She went to Starbucks and ordered a Frappuccino and a bread roll. Keiko was trying to figure out why that Frappuccino wasn't as tasty as booze, but it cost more. After finishing her snack, Keiko sat for half an hour lost in thought.
Just look how deep in thought she is. What do you think Keiko's thinking about here?
She's thinking about her next beer, man, obviously.
Oh, clearly. For sure. She's thinking like, God, why did I just buy a Frappuccino and it doesn't even make me drunk?
Yeah.
Like, there's not even booze in here. Like, what's the point?
The swill.
You know?
She's like, this freaking swill that I'm drinking. And she's like, which actually that's kind of interesting. I mean, I know Starbucks is really expensive, but like, so is beer. I mean, it's not like beer is insanely cheap unless you're getting a PBR. So it's like, they're like, the Starbucks is more expensive than her beer.
Well, it's Japanese prices too.
True.
Which I want to say, because like about like a year and a half, 2 years ago, I was researching a Japan trip. I want to say like getting there is pretty expensive. Obviously, it's such a long flight, but actually getting there, like prices aren't like, it's not super expensive.
So you're planning a
like
trip
food,
to
drinking, stuff like that.
So you're planning a trip to see her, yeah.
That
would be the most iconic thing ever.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Try to keep up with Kiko for a day. Live like should we do the live like Kiko for a day challenge?
No, dude. Screw keeping up with the Kardashians. We want to see keeping up with Kiko.
Yeah, that'd be season 3, episode 40. All right, Kiko wakes up at 9:30 a.m. hungover, so she pops a beer. Yeah, that'd be a fun show. And she has like family members come up to her and be like, Kiko, you gotta stop drinking. And she's like, why?
Yeah, she's like, it doesn't even affect me.
She's like, yeah, I mean, I have to drink like 6 before I even feel anything. So like, why would I stop?
Wild.
Let's watch a little bit more.
She wanted to drink tonight. She has no social life and spends every day with alcohol. When her craving for alcohol hit, she went to a convenience store and bought a bento box and, of course, beer. She found a chair on the side of the road and sat down.
I need her.
She first
I need
cheersed
her.
With us and then
like, there's pros and cons, you know? Con, she's a degenerate alcoholic. Pro, she's all, if we're together, she's only got me, you know?
Yeah.
Like, we
she
could do everything. I could fix her. I'm gonna say that one more time. I could fix her. I could introduce her to some hobbies.
Yeah.
Okay, you know?
Beautiful relationship. She's cute.
She's not bad looking.
Side of the road and sat down. She first cheersed with us and then drank to her heart's content. At this point, she was satisfied. Although she earns a decent salary, she spends most of it on alcohol, living paycheck to paycheck. But Keiko always stays positive and believes that life should be enjoyed to the fullest.
I believe she's a waitress. I think they say that in one of her vlogs, I believe.
Since when are waitresses salaried, but okay.
Could be a translation thing.
Yeah, that was mean. I'm sorry.
Keiko always stays positive and believes that life should be enjoyed to the fullest.
Fact.
Then it was dinner time.
Okay. So it's
Keiko
dinner time
drank a
now.
beer to moisten her throat.
What's for dinner?
She continued to drink another beer while eating her meal. Earlier that afternoon, she had bought a bento box from a convenience.
The narrator's killing me.
because I think like she just has to keep coming up with more and more unique ways to say Kiko drank a beer.
Right.
You know, like you ever write a paper in English class and you find yourself like repeating the same words and your teacher reads it and she's like, you guys say this a different way. Like it sounds boring, especially in journalism.
Right.
Like, you know, that's why when you read a news story, it'll be like, oh, it's a story on Ice Spice. And it'll be like, the Munch singer thinks that it'll be like the Bronx rapper. Like, so they come up with like these other descriptors to describe it.
Yeah.
So like the script can't just be Kiko went to lunch and drank a beer and then she drank another one. And then at dinner, she drank another one and then another one. So they got to come up with these like, she moistened her throat. She quenched her thirst with a cold beer.
Right. Oh my God! It literally, this is hysterical. You do need her, dude, and I need her too. I need her as a friend. You need her as a girl. I need her as a friend.
Tell me Kiko would not be the most supportive friend that you have. We have some great friends who are very supportive.
Yeah.
But like, you're not telling me Kiko wouldn't be like, no girl, like you go get it. Like this is like, she'll be like, no, listen, when you're stressed out, you've had a bad day, she goes, just sit down and just drink a beer with me.
Yeah.
And then drink another one. And then another one.
And then another one. And here's a couple things we know about Kiku. One, she's loyal. I saw pretty much the same brand of beer throughout that entire video. So she's loyal. Two, she's consistent, right? She's drinking all the time. She wakes up and she does the same thing every day. Loyalty and consistency. What more could you ask for in a friend or a significant other?
More so in loyalty, what else is she going to do, right? She's got her job, beer, and you. She's not going to leave you for beer.
Right?
Maybe she will. I don't know. Maybe she's like... Or maybe like I could maybe see a possible strain in our relationship. We're like 2-3 weeks in, and she wakes up and then she cracks one, and I'm just like 30 pounds overweight from the last 2 weeks, and like I have no metabolism. It's just slowed to a crawl. I've got a huge gut, and she's like, "You want a beer?" And I'm like, "Can we just take a break today? Like, do we have to?" I kind of just like want to go on a walk. Can we just do that? She's like, "Yeah, I'll grab a 6-pack on the way." No. Can we just like, you know, can we go get breakfast? And she's like, well, they don't serve beer at breakfast places. You got to drink before. It's like, well, can we just have a cup of coffee today? Do we have to, you know? I think that's where we would run into some issues. Is like, as much as I love beer, great. It's great.
It is great.
There is a certain, I don't know if I could keep up with her. And maybe that's the strains in her relationship.
Yeah. Well, and she said that's her only criteria is she has to have a man that can keep up with her or drink more than her. So that would be the...
Because what else would her criteria be, right? If that's her whole life, what possible characteristic could she even think about wanting in a person if not for that? That's it, right?
It's pretty fair. Like some people might be like, wow, Kiku, you know, that's a, you know, you shouldn't be so picky. But she's like, what are you talking about? Like this is my life. Like what else could I ask for? Like it's a simple ask. I just want someone that cares about my interests, and my interests are beer.
Yeah. I mean, just think about like the vacations we could go on. We'd go to Ireland, drink Guinness. Mm-hmm. We would
where else
another
has
beer vacation, go to Germany. I don't know. Like all of her vacations would revolve around beer. Yeah. Which would be cool for like a couple trips, but then you're kind of like running out of places to go. Yeah. And she's like, "Do you want to go to America so I can drink Miller Lite?" I'm like, there's other things to do there, but like, hell yeah, technically, yeah, you know.
And then you guys settle down together. You go to her part of the world and experience her life, and then eventually you guys fall in love, and she comes to your part of the world and experiences your part of life.
Yeah.
America does have great beer.
Yeah. I mean, well, the rest of the world probably disagree with that, but I like it.
That's probably true. Yeah. Tons of sugar in it. We know that.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. You know, I just think if I could get her down to like 12 a day instead of 30, maybe like 10, baby steps, you know?
Right.
I think I could fix her. I think Kiko is a project that I want to undertake because I think she has a lot of potential, and there's just I see greatness in her.
Yeah, it's really sweet. It's really sweet. I ship you guys.
Yeah.
I support it. You need her.
Okay.
I agree.
We'll see.
You need her. I need a gavel. You need her.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, that's a good place to end it. Thank you guys for listening. If you're listening on Spotify, please consider giving us a 5-star review, or if you have already, thanks.
Yeah, thanks.
And follow us on Instagram and TikTok at The Leen Show. Follow us on Twitter. I'm not calling it X. Elon Musk can... Not going to finish that, but Elon, I will not call it X. I think that is dumb. So follow us on Twitter at Leen Show Pod, and consider watching the show on YouTube if you haven't already. You know, we got some cool graphics on YouTube, and you know, got the video of the show, and whenever we watch stuff, you can see them, like you saw today. So if you're listening on Spotify, maybe consider watching the next episode on YouTube, or you know, at least checking out the YouTube page and liking and subscribing. That'd be awesome. Thank you to Glazed Eyes for letting us use their song Way Down as our intro outro. And yeah, Kathleen, any last thoughts?
No, man, just everyone stay safe out there. Yeah, no, this episode has like made me very contemplative about myself, about American politics, about love, about beer, about women. I'm feeling a lot of emotions right now, so.
Okay. Well, I'm going to let you decompress with those emotions. I'm going to let you unpack those emotions off camera.
Cool.
So
that's probably smart.
Let's do that. All right. Well, play us out, Glazed Eyes. Have a great one, guys.